Hey EDEXCEL GCSE business students, here are some topics to look out for before your upcoming Paper 1 exam. Do not only focus on these topics though, do focus on the others, but you might want to give these topics in the video a little extra time. The link to these exam technique videos will be in the description box, so do check them out before your exams. Financial aims and objectives. Financial aims and objectives. These are linked to money, and their goal is to either make sure that the business can afford to keep running or help it to make a profit. The financial aims and objectives are business survival, profit, sales, market share, and financial security. Ensure you know what these are. You could be asked to explain a financial aim and objective, or it could be like a 9-mark question where you are required to justify which one is more appropriate for a business. However it is phrased, ensure you know the financial aims and objectives, and if it's in section B or C of the paper, link it to the case study. Risk and reward. In regards to risk, there are 3 different elements that you need to know: business failure, financial loss, and lack of security. You may be asked how an entrepreneur can reduce risk of business failure for a new business, or the impact of risk, where you could make points such as them creating a cash flow forecast that would reduce risk, or undertaking market research that would also reduce risk. Likewise, you may be asked about the impact of reward on an entrepreneur, such as business success, profit, and independence. The dynamic nature of business. You need to know the reasons why new business ideas come about. These are changes in technology, changes in what consumers want, products and services becoming obsolete. You might be asked to explain one reason why new business ideas come about, or you might be asked how new business ideas come about, and that is original ideas, adapting existing products, services, or ideas. So it's really important that you cover this area too. Market segmentation. Make sure you can identify the different market segments. These are location, demographics, lifestyle, income, and age. You need to know what they are and how they can be used to target customers. This could be an explain question in section A, for example. Questions may also be phrased on how a business has segmented the market, so do look out for these types of questions in section B or C. If a segmentation question is in section B or C, where they have a case study, then you need to ensure that the segment you suggest, such as location or demographics or lifestyle, is relevant to the business in the case study. Sources of business finance. Whether it's for multiple choice questions or bigger mark questions, you need to know about the sources of business finance. You need to know which ones are short-term sources, such as overdraft and trade credit, and the long-term sources, personal savings, venture capital, share capital, loans, retained profit, and crowdfunding. Ensure you know what these are and the advantages and disadvantages of them. For example, an advantage of venture capital, which is a long-term source of finance, is that it is available for more risky investments. However, a disadvantage is that the venture capitalists may want a share of the business, meaning some control of the business may be lost too. The options for startup and small businesses. Here you need to know about limited liability and unlimited liability. Limited liability means if the company fails, the owners would lose their investment but would not have to use their assets to pay for any of the debts the business has. So they wouldn't have to use their assets such as their personal belongings, their house, for example. They wouldn't have to use any of that. For unlimited liability, if the business fails, such as a sole trader, these business owners may have to use their own personal assets to pay debts or legal fees. Ensure you know about limited and unlimited liability. You also need to know about the different types of business ownership. You need to know about a sole trader, the characteristics of a sole trader, what it actually is. Same for partnership, private limited company, and franchising. You should also know about the advantages and disadvantages of all of these different types of business ownership. You should be able to state the implications for a startup business if they were a sole trader. So if they were a sole trader, what would this mean? If they were a partnership, what would this mean? So know the advantages and the disadvantages. You may be asked to explain the impact on the different business owners of limited and unlimited liability. So what impact would it have on a sole trader as they have unlimited liability? And that is where you would mention that if the business were to fail, then they could lose their personal belongings such as their home. Legislation. You need to have an understanding of the principles of consumer law, which includes the quality of products and consumer rights. You may also be assessed on employment law, which covers recruitment, pay, discrimination, and health and safety. Some students do find it a bit tricky when questions come up to do with the impact of legislation on businesses. Now, the impact is the cost and the consequences of meeting and not meeting obligations. So when it comes to the costs, businesses must comply with government legislation, but sometimes it means there's going to be additional cost in terms of time and money. When it comes to the consequences of meeting and not meeting obligations could mean that staff are more likely to work harder, which results in the business being more efficient. The consequence of not meeting legal obligations could mean that the employer may have to pay fines and compensation if they break the law. So it's really important that you know about the impact of legislation on businesses. Also, if a business is not following the law and they've breached it, they've broken the law, then this could be really bad for their reputation and could really damage it. And finally, marketing mix is a topic that may come up. Do ensure that you know about the elements of the marketing mix, product, price, place, and promotion. Make sure that you know how they are important and also how the elements of the marketing mix work together. Thank you for watching this video. Good luck in your exams.